Hello and welcome back everyone to a new episode of Loremaster Leveling. Here with me, Sneaky Bard, and our Goblin Rogue Tafrona. We have made it to Feralas. So last time we were here in the Desolas. All I did do was basically run here to the south and to the north of Feralas with the War Chief Command Board quest that we took here. Also turned in one quest that we didn't turn in last time in the Desolas, so that's why the experience bar looks a bit more full than it did when we last left off. Anyway, let's go to here and return our quest. I do love being in Feralas again. I basically have two types of zones that I really like in WoW. Winter zones and forest zones, if you haven't noticed yet. Winter zones we have sadly been very remiss in. So I'm looking forward to going to Winter Spring and parts of Northrend, even though Northrend's winter zones aren't quite as fun. They're a bit desolate, as you'd assume, since it's, the continent of the dead and whatnot. So let's just grab all of these quests and see what they actually want us to do. So Dark Heart. Okay, what does it say? Edana Hate Talon is the queen of the North Spring Harpies that reside in the ruins to the west. She is pure evil. As we all know, Harpies are pure evil. Except Eviana, the name of the ancient of all things that fly that I forgot in last episode or episode before that. She's pure evil. I have heard that her heart is one of crystal. She is void of any emotion aside from the hate she feels towards all others. You must face Edana and bring me back her dark heart. It is curious that we never get to see the Harpies side of the story to all of this. The Harpies are probably the most one-dimensional, throwaway neutral faction enemy that we get. Everyone else gets to sort of tell their side of the story. The Naga, more or less, at least, Court of Ferondis sort of tells that story in Legion. The Dark Iron Dwarves, especially now with Moira, and we will recruit them into the Alliance, or the Alliance will recruit them into themselves via Horde. We will kill more Dark Iron. But yeah, most of the others have these sort of redemption arc-ish stories, or at least one individual that wants to redeem them. The Harpies, not so much. Maybe that's something for Battle for Azeroth. Who knows? Anyway, we must bring back her Dark Heart. I have heard of a horn that Harpies carry. Blowing it by the Hate Talon stones in the northern part of the ruins will summon the queen. Imagine her surprise when it's not her kin calling her, but her death. Oh, devious, aren't we? Vengeance on the North Spring. Okay, so we need to kill Harpies because in my day I was a seasoned hunter. There wasn't any creature around that I feared until doom, Harpies indeed. I was out in the forest, sharpening my blade after a tough battle when I was ambushed. Harpies surrounded me, and I barely managed to drag myself to safety. Even now, I can still hear their cries echoing. I was never the same after that. But the hate boils inside of me. I must get even, after all these years. Aren't you sure that you're not projecting your emotions into their hate talent Harpies, especially Edana? I mean, it sounds like the reason we have here, as any good WoW quest, is basically I have PTSD, go and deal with the problem for me, and instead of going to see a shrink, we shall just kill everything that triggers it. Very, very sane. But pretty much what the Star Wars storyline, the new Star Wars storyline is all about as well, if we can so grossly simplify it by enough spoilers. You probably, it's going to have been out a week or so by the time this goes on, but maybe some of you haven't seen it. Shame on you if you haven't. You should see it. It's awesome. But enough of that. Anyway, the North Spring Harpies can be found to the west of here. Tafrona, get my revenge. What don't we do for 75 silver? Yeah, definitely. We are a goblin and a mercenary, and a pretty cheap one, if I may say that. So we need to collect 8 infested stag antlers. Aha. So this is from a more druidic Tauren here. Who knew Rune Totem? Is he Bane's brother, uncle, cousin, or something? Anyway, they share a last name. No, wait, not Bane's. Sorry, Hamul's Rune Totem. Or maybe it's just like Johnson in Tauren. Everyone carries that name. Anyway, a severe illness has fallen over the creatures of this forest. While at first I hoped it was part of nature's course, it has refused to pass. The forest stags, normally strong and serene, have suffered the worst. Some waste away in weakness, others froth and rage dangerously. If I'm to consult the spirits to learn more of this sickness, I will need the stag's antlers. Alright. Let's go and get us... Well, harpies are to the north, as North Spring would suggest, so let's go there first. I said north, not south. Me and reading maps, ever the problem. Even though I do play games that basically have you just stare at maps all the time. I know where things are, just getting from one point to the other, that is the problem. Okay, we pulled that owl. Ah, nice harpy decorations here. But not to fret, that owl will just either lose interest in us or we will kill it. It lost interest in us. Oh, did we find the horn already? Well,
I'm out of range.
Yes, I know. Throw your shuriken. It is nice to be back on the rogue again. It's been like 2 weeks, I think, since I last played. You can look at the date there and figure it out. Anyway, something like that since I last played. Because, hey, exam season. And this is why I record way in advance at times, so that your content schedule shouldn't be interrupted by pesky things such as me having to get grades to get loans and stuff to pursue my studies.
Need a target.
Alright. So,
It's too far.
one of the things, and this is something that I was meant to ask you before, is how many of you actually do play with the sound off? Because I do realize that now for this Let's Play series, since I start playing with the sound on, I have been missing out on the music. And the music is awesome. But since my main thing that I've always played was some form of rogue or energy wielder, when I wasn't healing, these types of error shouts like, I need to target something first, kept happening. Especially back in BC when it seemed like, well, the global cooldown was like, what, 1.5 seconds? Maybe even 2 seconds? I think it was 1.5 seconds. And when you just kept like smashing the two key or whatever key, you kept getting those types of things. And it was very annoying. Especially when you didn't have energy. And people just complained in this really, I don't have enough energy voice. So, I basically, for lots and lots of years, too many years by now, played without sound in WoW. And back then it was actually possible, even in raids.
Need a target.
Because I actually had a conversation about this, whether it would be possible to play without sound in raids nowadays, and I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's possible, but you might have to get some add-on that basically makes all those cues that normally are auditory in other raid add-ons visual for you. Who knows? Anyway, we dinged 35. Put down your opinion on that in the comments. Alright, let's kill another harpy. We need one more after this. There we go. How many of you have we killed? You are going to be the last one. Congratulations. You barely did not manage to survive. Alright. We have done enough culling of these black ones, so we don't want the one that's flying over there. No, the one that's flying over there. No, there. Where are all the red ones gone? I want the red ones. Pink ones. However you want to call them. Purple ones. The ones that are not black and blue. There we go. Shadow Step. I do love Shadow Step. Amazing skill. Alright, where do we need to go now? To the north. Yeah, what was I about to say about Shadow Step? Apart from that I loved it. Yeah, I usually get it in RPGs that allow me to get some form of Shadow Step, even though it's amazing how in single player RPGs it just seems super, what do you call it, overpowered. Especially if it's some form of teleport more than a Shadow Step. But in WoW it just doesn't seem that overpowered. It just seems like a nice bit of movement to the rogue that it seemed to lack before. Even though, if my type of class balance ever became a reality, I would just give the rogue more damage and less that type of movement. But hey, who am I to ruin other people's game? There's the horn. So let's summon you, Edana. We are terribly sorry. There you go. And shall we kill you? Alright, come on. Let's kill it before the lightning bolt comes. Yes, nice. Got your cold heart that indeed looks like a crystal. Interesting. Alright, let's hop on our death wheel. Unless the harpy there decides that we are not allowed to flee. Oh yeah, the citrine. Not that we're going to sell that on the auction house, that would be too much micromanaging. But hey, it's always nice to be handed a green item. Here we go. To the south. To do a bit more savory work, shall we say. Well, not if we ask the stags, but hey, you're ill and we need to find a way to cure you. So some of you will have to die more quick and possibly more painful death than you otherwise would. But such is life in Azeroth. Oof, those ferns came a bit too close to the screen. There we go. Got a stag here, and you're indeed infected. Looks like some form of demonic thing by the red hue that you've taken on.
It's too far.
Come on, let's just throw a shuriken. Ooh, nice, you even rushed towards us. But no horns. We apparently smashed the horns to pieces with our daggers before we killed you. Or maybe we just were too hard to headbutt and you smashed them to pieces yourself. There you go. We've got antlers. Antlers, I should call them antlers, not horns. It just, I don't know. I'd have to think about this, but I think... no, not even in German are antlers and horns the same thing. Because one is something similar to horn.
I don't have a target.
It is horn, to be specific. And the other thing is something that we don't have to say on an English-speaking stream. You can Google it if you want.
I'm out of range.
But stream. YouTube content thingy. One thing that's funny about living in the Netherlands and speaking German is that you sort of think you understand stuff. And then sometimes it goes oh so wrong because there's false friends. But hey, that is life living in a country where you don't speak the language. And at least it incentivizes you to speak or to learn the language that people around you speak. So that is good. But back to killing stags. I'm surprised that the low drop rate of these antlers, let's use the correct term, antlers, we seem to be just killing the stags, and in the process of that killing, just smashing our precious quest item to pieces. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, this was introduced in one of the other episodes in the Feralas, I think. Oh no, is it going to kill us? Don't kill us. Where I basically told that whenever the drop rate was such that oh dear, is he coming? That we couldn't get the quest item with 100% drop rate, but it was something that whatever we were killing should have at least one of, say in the case of these stags, the antlers or ears of kobolds or whatever have you, but you didn't get it due to drop rate. I would always say, well, we must have destroyed that item beyond recognition when we killed said target, and that is still the head canon, if you may call it that I use to refer to situations where we kill this stag, for instance, and don't receive the antler. Want to see now that the antler is there? No, it actually isn't. Yeah, so we just smashed that to pieces. I'm surprised that that other rogue that we just saw didn't decide to come and attack us. I've been leveling another character in the hinterlands, and even though this is a horde dominated PvP server, there were quite a few alliance tunes on there. Several nights in a row, different tunes that did Loremaster or something, because some of them were clearly leveling there because they needed to level to 110, but others were like just level 110s doing the quests there, and they just kept killing me, even with heirloom, because I'm really bad at PvP and I just can't care about it while I level. When I was younger, I used to love to do PvP while leveling. As little annoying brat that now keep plaguing me while all I want to do is level in peace. But hey, that's karma for you, isn't it? Come on, let's see if we can't find 2 more stags that actually drop us the antlers. I can see one of them over there. Come on, come to Papa. Let me shadow step at least. There we go. Nice.
I don't have a target.
No, you won't drop the antler. A shame. Let's be in stealth though, because you never know where that alliance rogue is. Since it might just be happenstance that he isn't attacking us after all.
I need a target.
Ah, leather boots, but no antlers. A shame. Oh dear. That sounded like the stealth thing, and not like our stealth. But
I don't have a target.
more like someone else who went into stealth. But hey, let's think the best of people. Probably he won't attack us. Yeah. All people who play MMOs are decent people. The community isn't toxic at all.
I need to target
Not that it is in WoW. Well, compared to other MMOs or other online games, it definitely isn't, I would say. But there's always things to improve. But when don't you have things that you like to improve? And here we go. Let's get that stack. Actually wanted to do subtlety ambush,
I don't have a target.
but hey, just because of that, you now didn't give me the antler. Well, we at least... oh, there he is. Level 38. Probably would have killed us, since we don't have heirlooms, for one. Even without my lack of skill and lower level. There we go. We found all our antlers, and let's go and return these quests. And hope that that owl doesn't daze us and cause us to dismount. But will you look at these gorgeous trees? I especially like the dots of purple. I think that's purple and not magenta. Maybe it's magenta, but purple. Deep purple in all this greenery, and just how big all these trees are. It's a lovely thing to be back in the desolate here. And as you can see, we have some ex-High Elven ruins here as well. Even a portal to the Emerald Dream. You can see it over there in the distance. I think there's still some whelplings here. Yes. And you can farm these for the green dragon pet, if I remember correctly. I at least have a very vivid memory. Oh, we went too far, as always, of farming these guys for that pet. The question is, I don't have the memory of ever getting it, but I think we did get it. Let's see. No? Let's see. What does dragon say? Because it could be something like emerald. Dragon. No? Really? Are you a whelpling or something then? I just want to see this now. Whelpling. There we go, Emerald Whelpling. We did get it at some point. Yes, Zone Feralas drops from Noctius Whelps. So the ones over there. Coolio. And as you can see, all my pets, well, the ones that I use for pet battles, are all named after philosophers. Another pet thingy of mine, pun unintended, but I did have fun coming up with various philosopher names to do the Celestial Tournament with these guys. And that was our timer, but let's return the quest first and then proceed to call this an episode. It's been lovely having you here once again. I do hope you did enjoy the episode, and since it's not that much until Christmas, and there's probably an episode that will be aired during Christmas week. I hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas, a very great time with your family, and I will see you in the next one. If you did enjoy this episode, then do remember to give me a like and a subscribe. And as always, my name's been Sneaky Bard, and I will see you in the next episode. So until then, bye bye.